learned at school today won't help you survive tomorrow. What kind of future are we even building if the education system itself stays stuck behind in the past? Let me explain. For a school student like me, school life is like trying to balance three heavy balls of pressure. Let me explain. First, we have expectations. Why? Because we are told that this is what matters first. And then we have examinations. This is manageable but uncomfortable. And then we have marks. We are told to constantly adjust these in our hands. But let me ask you, will I be able to throw these balls and catch them at the same time? No, absolutely not. But this is not because that students cannot handle responsibility. This is because we are forced. We are forced to handle all of these at the same time. And eventually, when one single ball drops, the school labels it as failure. That sound? That is the sound of failure according to the system. So, let me ask you, what is the point of learning subjects when the moment we realize that when we leave the institution, we realize there is no connection between what we studied and what we're expected to do in the real world? That is when reality hits. This isn't just a personal loss. Whatever we memorized all these years suddenly doesn't help us anymore. This is a community loss. What is the use of an education system that doesn't prepare thinking minds, that doesn't build problem solvers, that doesn't help to develop the community, and instead just creates thousands and thousands of qualified graduates who are still asking one simple question: what do I do next? And this is exactly why unemployment is so visible today. Not because students lack degrees, no, but because education churns out graduates who are lost, confused, and directionless. We often hear the words, speak for tomorrow, so yes, I am speaking for tomorrow. For millions of young minds out there whose talent cannot be measured by marks alone. And yes, education is an undeniably powerful tool that we can use today. If we can lift communities, we can shape futures, we can build generations. But there is one single problem. It is poorly designed. This isn't criticism, no, this is a reality check. All it teaches is for the youth to memorize answers, and before they discover the questions they want to even ask. How is it ever justified to silence a student's talent in the name of education? How? We blame them. We blame them for losing every single ball. This isn't learning. This is a murder of potential. And then we wonder why today's youth feel lost, unmotivated, and unemployed. But let me tell you, that was not their fault. It was our fault. We gave them that much weight. It was never the grip. It was the weight we handed them. So now, I have a question to ask you. Are you really happy with your profession? Were you really happy with your profession, and were you able to find a job that truly revolves around what excites you the most? Were you able to find and receive the kind of education that you dreamed of having? Were you? No, absolutely not. Now let me make this personal. At a time when nobody questioned schooling, my mother did. She asked, is this system giving my child the opportunity to explore, or is it just deciding her life before she even understands it? But let me tell you, because of that one single question, I ended up being homeschooled for years. And because of that, I was able to receive something unexpected that I would never receive from any institution. Can you guess what that is? That is boredom. Yeah, you heard me right, boredom. And that is literally what shaped me into who I am today. So, the system we're all in right now, it has completely erased boredom. Why? Because it has already decided that it's bad for learning. But guess what that really does? It stops us from thinking. It stops us from being curious. Why? Because the system wants busy kids and not thinking kids. And that was why I was able to discover who I truly am. Not the version shaped by marks or expectations, but the version I wanted to see myself in. The very same thing my school once called impossible is the very same thing that stands before you today. I am the author of 2 books. And today, I stand before you, who the same youth who once juggled and balanced 3 balls of pressure with a life largely fixed by a system, is the same youth that stands before you today living the life she wanted. So the solution isn't to change the students to fit the system. No, it is to change the system to fit these students. And that is why when we redesign education, students don't drop the ball. They learn how to throw it. Thank you all for your attention.